welcome back to part 2 of my London flat hunt series. If you're new here, hi, my name is Nina. I'm an American living in London. I've been here for 2 years now, and this is my 3rd time going through the flat hunt process. If you haven't seen part 1 of the series, I recommend you checking it out. In that video, I go further into details on why we're looking to move and what we're looking for in our next potential flat, along with bringing you to see 7 different flat viewings, including the one that we put an offer in. So if you're curious on why am I still here doing part 2 of this series, even though I've already put in an offer, then I recommend you checking that video out. I will leave it right over here as well as in the description box. In this video, I am bringing you along to see 8 more flats with these criteria in mind that I discussed in part 1. Now, I'm not going to lie, a lot of the flats that I will be showing this video do look pretty decent, especially for West London standards, where there are a lot of older homes and it's not as common to come across something that is newly renovated. But the biggest thing to keep in mind during this video is that we do love our current flat, even though our landlord is increasing the rent. So we are going to be a bit picky with, which flat we put an offer in, just because we will only move if we find a flat that completely checks off everything that we're looking for and is a better option than the one that we've got right now. So without further ado, let's get right in. I'm not the biggest fan of the exterior of this first flat. It looks a bit sad, but once you step inside, it looks perfectly fine. It's located near Paddington Station, which is a major hub for the tube and the train stations, so location-wise, it's very well connected. This flat was not even on the market yet as it's still under construction, and if you saw my part 1 flat hunt video, you might remember the flat that we put an offer in, which was also at another construction site. And the agent that took us to see that flat is the same agent that is showing us this flat right now. So we had really high hopes that she was going to make some magic happen and take us to see some more great flats. Because this place is being renovated, all the furniture in here is also brand new, which is a big plus. The landlord is actually an interior designer, so you can kind of see that all the furniture and decor pieces in here do look quite stylish. I was almost sold on this one because of the furniture and all this additional storage that is incredibly hard to find in London. I typically prefer a neutral colored kitchen, but this one looks so fun and I actually really like the green cabinets with the checkered floor. But once you step into the living room area, you can see that there are multiple lamps in here to help provide additional lighting because the flat itself is quite dark, and even with all the lights turned on, it still feels kind of dark. The unit is on the ground level looking out to this busy street with this big dumpster, so I wouldn't feel as comfortable opening up the windows and I feel like someone could easily break in, so with that we ultimately said no to this one. Look at the exterior and the entrance of this second flat. Absolutely stunning, definitely giving me that West London vibe that I was looking for. It's located near Earl's Court, which is actually not my favorite area, but it is close to many grocery stores and many restaurants. The flat is on the ground level, but it is in the back of the building, so you're not looking out onto the main street. It's got a nice spacious kitchen and the whole place does feel clean. We got some extra storage here, which is a big plus, and the bathroom was nice with a little window for some airflow. The bedroom was big enough to put a workstation in there, although I would have asked to remove this giant chair though, but this closet was really disappointing. The back section is basically not accessible. This is why I always recommend that you double check for storage. Don't be afraid to open up the doors, the cabinets to see what it's actually like inside, because with this we would have to buy an additional wardrobe. The flat was also missing some other basic furniture items like nightstands, coffee tables, and TV stands, etc. So this was just one of those flats that we just weren't really in love with, despite this beautiful grand entrance, so we didn't go with this one. This third flat looked amazing from photos, but when you get there, the exterior is quite run down and is on the 4th floor with no lift, which is not a big issue, but the entire building smelled really moldy and musky, and I just would not enjoy breathing that in as I'm trying to catch my breath walking up 4 flights of stairs every single day. But once you step inside, it is actually really nice. Tons of natural lighting coming in. I love this kitchen, and I think that I would really enjoy cooking in here with that really nice view in the back, although the sink is kind of in a weird placement. I really like the living room. It's really spacious and would give me a lot of freedom to decorate the place like how I want it. We've got some interesting lighting going on in the bathroom here. The bedroom is spacious enough to fit a desk in there, and it has plenty of storage. However, because of the walk up through Modi stairs, we didn't want to put an offer in this one. This fourth flat is perfect in every single way, except the fact that it was £500 a month over our budget. Yeah, you heard that right. We were really frustrated with this particular agent by this point, because on this night, she took us to see 3 different flats that were all significantly over our budget and not at all within the criteria that we were asking for. Although rental prices in London are negotiable, it's almost impossible to ask the landlord to come down £500 a month. Now, we're willing to go over our budget for a flat that has everything that we're looking for, but not at £500, especially when you also have to factor in council tax, which is a local tax that could easily add anywhere from £100 to £250 additional each month. So this was a bit of a bummer, as we really like the flat. This fifth flat is in Battersea, which is a new development area and really nice, but it is south of the River Thames and we prefer to live north of the river, but we do go to Battersea quite a bit for like shopping and entertainment, so I decided to give this one a shot. This flat is located inside of this gate. The landlord actually lived here and he was looking to rent this out for a year while he goes to work abroad in Barbados, which I was a bit jealous of. I was like, do you want to maybe take us with you? Because this is his actual home, he took great care of the place and he was looking for a clean and respectful tenant who's going to take good care of his home as well. And we are both clean and respectful tenants, so that would have been a really great match. This bedroom is quite big, although I would have rearranged the furniture a little bit differently to put a dedicated workstation in here. The flat is on the ground level, but it is in a gated community with this pond that separates the unit from the walkway, so it felt much safer than the other ground units that we've seen. This kitchen is new and sleek and even got a little wine cooler, but in my opinion, Battersea area is just not as well connected, as you only have one tube line and one tube station nearby. So if that line is delayed or is closed for maintenance, it would be quite difficult to get around. So because we would rather live north of the river, we didn't go with this one. This flat is actually right across the street from my friends, so that would have been lovely to have them as our neighbors. This flat also comes with a private courtyard, so only the residents of this building can access it. Right behind the kitchen here, you have this beautiful patio. Imagine how nice that would be to step out here in the morning and sip on your coffee overlooking this park. This is a semi two-story flat with the second story being more of a bonus room with tons and tons of storage. It's not tall enough for you to stand up there though, you kind of have to crawl your way around, but the current tenant put a bed up there and made like a cozy little sleeping nook, which was actually really cute. We were close to putting an offer in this one, but the tenant move-out date was going to be 3 weeks after our current lease end date, which means that we would have to find a temporary place to stay and store all of our belongings for 3 weeks, which was not ideal, so unfortunately this one didn't work out. This flat is between Notting Hill and Paddington. It's super close to everything that we would need. It's on a high street, but the flat itself faced the inside of the building, so it wasn't allowed in the unit. But it was really small. The minute that we stepped in, we just knew that this was not going to be the one for us due to the size. Now, although the bedroom and the bathroom looked great, the kitchen was unfortunately not. I'm a small girl and I already felt so cramped standing in there, so 2 people cooking in there at the same time was definitely not going to work. It has nice tall ceilings and let's take a look at that again. Yep, that's water damage, which means mold is on its way. So overall, this was easily a no for us. The last and final flat, it is on Portobello Road Market in Notting Hill, and it sits right above Chai Guy's Bakehouse, which has incredible pastries. So this would have been a bit dangerous if I lived right above it, as I probably would go down there every single day to get their pastries. Portobello Road Market is a very popular market. It's basically open every single day, and it gets very crowded on the weekends, especially in the summer when there's a lot of tourists. It's basically one of the main spots that everyone should check out when they come to London. People from the streets can easily look into this unit, and you can actually still hear everything through these windows, so I cannot imagine how loud that would be during the day when the market is opened. We were viewing this flat after the market was already closed. But the inside is quite nice. It has a mini fridge though, so we would need to buy a full-size fridge. This is a 2-bed, 2-bath flat, which is quite hard to find in London. Normally you only get 1 bathroom with a 2-bedroom unit. I'm literally opening up every single door and cabinets possible here to check for extra storage. This is the master bedroom, which is a bit on the smaller side. We wouldn't be able to fit 2 nightstands in there, and we would turn the second bedroom into an office. Although it would have been really cool to live near Portobello Road Market, we would not want to live right in the middle of it, because this is literally what it would look like when the market is open, and that is the unit right there. Now you might ask, so which flat did you go with? And the answer is this one! We decided to renew our lease for another year, even though our landlord is increasing the rent, but we were able to negotiate for it to only go up by £50. So our new rent will be £2,550 per month, which I think is quite reasonable. I'm curious, which flat was your favorite? Let me know in the comments, or if you would like me to do a flat tour, then let me know in the comments as well. I'm happy to do one. Thank you so much for coming along in my flat hunt journey. I hope that you've enjoyed kind of seeing what some of these London homes look like, and if you've enjoyed this video, then I would appreciate it if you would give it a like. I make travel videos, and I will be making more videos on what life is like in London, so if that is something that you're interested in, then please consider subscribing. Thank you again for your time, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!